And I've got it very the pitfalls of starting a tree company. Let's name a few of the many. The first pitfalls of starting a tree company are obviously going to be finances. It's expensive to get going. You can do it on a basic amount of money. You can get some really poor quality equipment that's unreliable. That's how most people started. I started. It's frustrating sometimes because you'll be cracking out a job and the machinery can just fall apart on you. So obviously get the best that you can afford, but when you're starting out, if you're becoming a tree company, a tree surgeon, and then you want to start a tree company, obviously you're not going to have a lot of money because you wouldn't have been a tree surgeon if you had a lot of money. So obviously starting's hard. You need a bit of money behind you. That's one of the main problems. Then after that, staff can be a problem. It's hard to get good staff. No matter how much you pay them, it's just hard to get good staff. It is what it is. This industry is quite punishing, and there's very few men that are up to the challenge, or women or men, either. I'm not sure. I've only employed men at the moment because that's all that's ever sort of come through the sort of when we've requested employing people. So we got costs, labour. What else? Machinery breakdowns. Obviously, machines break down all the time in our game. It's just the nature of the beast. We use machinery to the limits of their abilities, and they eventually something goes wrong with them. That's why, luckily, I'm in a stage now. I've been going long enough. I can afford new machinery under warranty, which is a great thing. But machinery breakdowns is another pitfall. Unfortunately, something that I've learned in the last few years is, I hate to say it, but there are some customers out there that can be very difficult to deal with. Doesn't matter how good of a job you provide, how good the price is, how polite you are, how you present yourself, you can still suffer with some people that are just almost impossible to deal with and impossible to please, no matter what you provide. I've luckily only ever experienced, I reckon I've probably had 10 customers in 10 to 13 years that have just been beyond my ability to satisfy, which is frustrating because obviously, I personally always try to make sure that I can do the job and give the best service possible. But I've just learned to accept defeat somewhere where you just can't please everybody all of the time. It's just not possible, and learn to walk away from that situation and learn a lesson from it. There's always great lessons in business to learn, and that's definitely one of the lessons I've learned. But also always be honest with what you can provide to a customer. Don't over-promise, always under-promise, because then you always over-deliver. So I would always say that. Sometimes customers misunderstand what you're saying, so try to be as clear and as concise as possible, and that should solve a lot of problems. Something you'll learn as you run in your business. Other pitfalls. They're your biggest problems, to be fair. Finances, labour, machinery, and some customers. We're lucky. I'm really lucky that I've got absolutely 99% of my customers are fantastic. They make me enjoy my job because they're a pleasure to work for. They understand the limitations of what we can do, because there's some services that we can do, but we can't do it we can't always meet the expectations of some people, because some people don't understand what is possible. So you always have to manage people's expectations and just be honest. And if someone's trying to get you to deliver something you can't, learn to say no, and don't be afraid to say no. I'd rather say no to a customer now. Say, look, this is what we can do. That's the limits of our abilities. If someone else is promising you something more, I'm happy to let that customer go, because I normally know 9 out of 10 times they come back, because I know you can't promise some things. It's just not doable. But anyway, other than that covers the pitfalls of starting a tree company.